coming into silence, I know that I value only God, only love, and each moment can be an undoing of all that I've previously used to stay in egoic consciousness, to serve a separate self that truly I have believed is reality. Resting in the silence of the one true heart and breathing deeply into the lower belly. There you can find an energy center and an anchor point for being with all events that happen in your life. So, one of the ways that Yeshua mentions in the Way of Mastery is just looking at what actually happens when you're having an experience what's actually happening in the mind. What am I thinking in the mind? What am I choosing to give it meaning? What meaning am I giving to it? What value? And is that meaning serving me, my idea of myself, a separate self, separate from all of creation, the universe, an idea of myself? Is it serving this? Or is it serving love's purpose through me? So there's always the choice in each moment to choose for love. Now, one thing I've noticed by following this pathway, which is the Way of Mastery pathway, one thing that's quite difficult to teach that doesn't get mentioned in the books is direct experience. Direct experience is very, very valuable because with it comes insight and revelation for your own soul, your own self, your own sense of self-knowing. This is something that can't really be explained in a book, although all of the books in the trilogy of the Way of Mastery are written from Yeshua's frequency, which is the highest frequency of love. It's seeking for the highest. And when we seek for the highest in every moment through breath, awareness, allowing awareness to open through the breath so that it's not just a me that I'm looking at through the camera, that I'm seeing myself through my phone. It's consciousness working through me. It's a greater self that is the self of my soul. And this soul is the created offspring of God, or Allah in Aramaic, Yeshua's word for God. as we decide to make a brave change, to see ourselves truly as we are, as we make that turn towards ourself, to actually look at what we've created. In every moment, there's an opportunity to be loving with it. So it's allowing that loving presence to come through and take over the vessel, not only of the body, but what the mind tells you is reality about each experience that you have. Every experience is just an opportunity for love and enjoyment of everything. Now, the mind is going to tell you, no, I want to have an experience of drinking coffee and eating cake in my favourite cafe, and that's what I want to do, and it makes me feel happy doing that, and that's what I'm going to go and do. So you're going to go and drink coffee and eat cake, and the mind tells you what it's going to do for you. It's going to make me feel happy. I'm going to enjoy the taste of the coffee and the cake. I'm going to feel like I've got a sugar rush. I'm going to have energy. And when I go in there, I'm going to experience all the things I experience when someone does something for me. So already you've decided what that thing is and what it's for. Your mind has an image, a picture of that thing that you want to experience, and you go into that creation and you already think you know what it's all about for you. And this is how we funnel reality, because reality is not what we say reality is. It's not what we believe about things that occur. Reality is only what is. And we take what is and we make something out of it in the mind. And this is what Yeshua calls false idols. And this has been written about a lot because it's actually what the mind attaches itself to in order to build itself a bigger castle and a bigger story about itself, a role, a person, a thing, an object. It builds a story, and we give that story all of our attention, all of our energy, all of our devotion, and we totally believe it's life and reality. We totally believe it. So Yeshua once said, I come with fire and a sword. So he comes, even now as I'm doing this video, he comes, he's here with me now, he's here with all of us. Anyone who's watching this video is experiencing the presence of Yeshua and the Christ Council, the beings of light who come to be with us and be like a signpost for us. They guide us, they help us to go towards the light, so we don't mistake our idols for the light, so we see ourselves more clearly who we truly are. I'm just going to be honest now with myself and move into a position that's much more comfortable. That's better. as we start to see what we make, it starts to lose its grip, because we start to see the false, flimsy quality of it. That I've made this in my head, I've made this story up. What I use it for, I use it to create a sense of personal self and to reinforce my fears. And I devote myself to those fears. I expend my energy on those fears. I do not want those fears to be looked at or questioned, because I'm too scared to look at them, truly. Why? Because I believe I'm a separate self that has no support. I'm completely severed from my support, my life source. So the belief in separation, this one thought is underpinning the whole of this matrix of beliefs, ideas about self, who we think we are. So it's a very, very great step, and a very, very brave step, to actually turn and face that. Every moment is an opportunity to look at, am I living from that personal sense of self that believes it's separate from God? Or am I being with myself in a loving way as I go through this experience, what I've chosen to go through to learn about myself? And if I'm not, can I choose anew and be loving now? And when I do that, what's going to happen? Ego thinks it knows what's going to happen in the future based on the past. But actually, reality is only happening now, and it's happening at all times and in all places, all at once. And you can tune into that frequency just by tuning in to your breath and your connection to divine guidance, which is always there for you. It allows you to have an experience of being a separate self. It allows you to have that. It gives you permission to do that. The connection made by focusing the attention on breathing and actually breathing deeply into the lower belly is the first step really on this pathway. I did a lot of reading of the Way of Mastery books, and all of that reading, even though it was a purification just by reading it, touches several layers. There's a deeper layer that's touched and allowed by turning your attention always to the anchor of the breath. It's your support. It's your life force energy source. It's how life comes into being.